As we read the Gospels, we see that Jesus was always on the move. He went from place to place, sharing the good news of God's love for humanity. But he didn't only talk about it, but he acted. And his actions so often transformed people that he encountered. He changed not only their self-image, but their relationships with God and with others. So many of these encounters we read in the Gospels involve physical healing. But I think if we read deeper, we see that all the encounters really went far beyond physical healing. And the story of Zacchaeus in the gospel that was just read is a great example. We're told that Zacchaeus was a wealthy tax collector. He worked for the Roman oppressors. So, without a doubt, Zacchaeus would not have been a well-liked and popular person. And Luke tells us that his only physical deficit was that he was short. And as the story continues, we see that Jesus did nothing to change that. But despite his greed-driven life, Zacchaeus somehow was moved to go and check out Jesus. Maybe he'd heard about him from other people. However it was, he goes. And then he realizes, because he was a short guy, he really couldn't get a good look at Jesus. So he climbs a tree. And then when Jesus comes, he takes notice of Zacchaeus, addresses him by name. Zacchaeus, come down. I'm going to stay at your place. I'm sure Zacchaeus was stunned. But he came down and he brought Jesus to his house. And welcoming Jesus drew criticism from a lot of the people who really had a low opinion of Zacchaeus. But Jesus went to his house. He met him right where he was at. And there, Zacchaeus was healed. From the point of that encounter with Jesus, his life would be different. He pledges to make right all the wrong that he has done in his life. And did you notice, Jesus made no judgment of Zacchaeus. He just encountered him right where he was at. And yet, that encounter is what made his total transformation a possibility. His life was changed for the better. He could build new relationships with God, with his family, with other people. Another example of this deep kind of healing, another great story, is the one of the Samaritan woman at the well. By the rules of society of Jesus' day, Jesus should not have even talked to this woman. She was a woman. She was unrelated to him. And to make it worse, she was a Samaritan, and the Jews hated the Samaritans. And yet, in an encounter with Jesus, she was transformed. And she became Jesus' messenger to go back into the village and tell people about him. She too was healed. Jesus never has prerequisites for healing. He doesn't heal as a reward for good behavior. How about the story of the paralytic whose friends cut a hole in a roof to lower him down in front of Jesus. In that story, it seems that his friends may have had more faith in the man that Jesus actually cured. But these stories of Jesus healing confront us with his depth of concern for human suffering. They tell us that God does care about the human condition. Because we are created in God's image, Jesus' ministry was always recreating and restoring that image. In any of the healing stories, the implications always go beyond that physical healing itself. And the message for us is that God does care about human pain. As people who have experienced God's grace, love, and healing, they're always being ready and equipped to go and pass it on. So as followers of Jesus, we are called to be a part of that healing and transforming ministry. First, I think we need to try to always be aware when we encounter hurting people. People won't always tell you that they are hurting. But if we're aware, we may be able to pick it up by their language, their body. And then we need to be open to meeting them right where they're at without judgment. If we're willing to listen to their pain and do it without thinking we need to fix it, we can open that possibility for healing and transformation. If we enter into the encounter with genuine love and concern, then we can actually make Christ real and verifiable for them. I recently came upon a reflection written by the late Pope Francis while he was hospitalized before his death. It's amazingly down to earth, but deeply profound. And having spent many years working in hospitals, it really spoke to me. And I think he really gives us a template for being people who have a healing presence. And I would like to share this with you. Francis says, "The walls of hospitals have heard more honest prayers than churches. They have witnessed far more sincere kisses than those in airports. It is in hospitals you see a homophobe being saved by a gay doctor, a privileged doctor saving the life of a beggar. In intensive care you see a Jew taking care of a racist, a police officer and a prisoner in the same room receiving care, a wealthy patient waiting for a liver transplant, ready to receive an organ from a poor donor. It is in these moments when the hospital touches the wounds of people that different worlds intersect according to divine design. And in this communion of destinies, we realize that alone we are nothing. The absolute truth of people most of the time only reveals itself in moments of pain or in the real threat of an irreversible loss. A hospital is a place where human beings remove their masks and show themselves as they truly are in their purest essence. This life will pass quickly. So do not waste it fighting with people. Do not criticize your body too much. Do not complain excessively. Do not lose sleep over bills. Make sure to hug your loved ones. Do not worry too much about keeping the house spotless. Material goods must be earned by each person, but do not dedicate yourself to accumulating an inheritance. You are waiting for too much. Christmas, Friday, next year, when you have money, when love arrives, when everything is perfect. Listen, perfection does not exist. A human being cannot attain it because we are simply not made to be fulfilled here. Here, we are given an opportunity to learn. So make the most of this trial of life and do it now. Respect yourself. Respect others. Walk your own path and let go of the path that others have chosen for you. Respect. Do not comment. Do not judge. Do not interfere. Love more. Forgive more. Embrace more. Live more intensely. And leave the rest in the hands of your Creator. So today what I am suggesting is that we all can be healers in some way. In a world that's driven by greed and violence, healers are in very short supply. But if we are to be Jesus-like people, looking for ways to be agents of healing, then this openness to being a part of healing others is one of the ways we can respond in our discipleship to that daily call of Jesus. Come, follow me. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.